Yeah, I just saw an interesting video, a call-out video about Brotherjohnf and SgtBull 07. And, it's always been my opinion, those, they put together a nice, glossy, presentation on YouTube, and there are facts in it. It's not, like, unfactual, but they really don't know what the hell they're doing. But that's really what it is. And Brotherjohnf, I kind of lean a little towards conspiracy stuff. I know there's a lot of shrewd players up there that play games and for their own benefit. I mean, really, come on. I mean, conspiracies actually go on at every level. There's always a few people, hey, let's get together and get this deal going and we can get this thing and make some money and stuff. There's always people like that. But, he takes it too pretty far. I heard a couple things about him. I don't know if it's legit, but he has some doubts about if there was, a man was placed on the moon. That's getting out there, man. So I'm going to post a link down there in the info box of where this Brotherjohnf call-out video is. And I might just call this a call-out video too, but it's not going to be exactly about that. Anyway, but I want to point out something else. Of the people that are supposedly kind of figuring out that, we're getting screwed over pretty bad by the elite on the top, the power-hungry people with the bottomless pit. Of the people that are figuring that out, a lot of those people are falling into other traps. I even kind of suspected Ron Paul pretty much because, if he was legit, he should have went independent. And you need a lot of fire and brimstone if you're going to be really tearing up the elite. Or, you know what, you should be kissing her ass and stabbing them in the back. That's really how you should be doing it. More than anything. You shouldn't be direct frontal approach. Me saying that is kind of stupid saying that, but that's the way you should do it. So, I never thought Ron Paul was that effective, to tell you the truth. But, look at this. This is my main point in the whole political thing. Did anybody twist the American people's arm and say, you got to vote for Romney or Obama? No. Shit, I voted for Gary Johnson, so Ron Paul didn't run. Screw it. I voted for Gary Johnson, libertarian. Maybe there's something, he's a hell of a lot better than those other two by miles. Everybody's got the thing that they're pissed off at Obama now because he's backtracking on stuff. They got Homeland Security. And, I got an idea for Homeland Security. If they're going to have an invasion on Iran, hey, Homeland Security's got 1.5 billion rounds and they got all these weapons, send them, Use them as cannon fodder, and then the real troops can come in later and clean up, That's what I think Homeland Security would be good for. Give them a little battle test. Because, anybody that gets hired to shoot Americans, he has to be some kind of an asshole anyway. So, anyway, but that's a different subject. But, this thing, this is my point, though. Like, when I see, I listened to Brotherjohnf for a while until he started making, so I started seeing some of the shit he was predicting was so far off. I was like, holy shit. But he sounds good, when you first listen to him. But, he sounds convincing. But, SgtBull, I kind of got turned off about that one. A lot of these people, actually, Bob Chapman, I got turned off. I listened to Mark Faber. I'm going to tell you this thing about silver, though. Why do people go into precious metals? Yeah, it's a store of wealth and all this kind of crap. It's been used as money going back to day one and all this, right? But, in today's society, a lot of times people want, when they put money down on something, they want to get a return on the investment, the ROI, right? They want to see what's the, how well you've been performing all along here. That means how much I'm going to get later, 5%, 10%, whatever the hell it is. I want a stock in a company that's going to give me dividends. Precious metals don't do that. When people go into precious metals, they're scared. So that's usually what happens with gold, especially. That's why we have tensions in the Middle East. Oil goes up, gold goes up, and silver starts going like this, and it goes, right at the last minute. But I'm going to tell you this. Guys like Brotherjohnf, SgtBull, you know who they're going to be having everybody dump their last dime into silver and gold when it's real high? The middle class. The middle class. So I say this message quite a bit. That's where I think the middle class is getting jammed, man. Because it ain't going to work just like that. You might want to have your money in real assets, but not necessarily all in silver and gold. But The guy I really trust is Mark Faber. He's afraid of us, a catastrophic financial collapse where something really bad's going to happen. That's why he keeps buying gold every month. Even now. I mean, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. He thinks maybe there could be a final washout period, and then it's going to keep going up. He'll buy hard on that, try to buy it at the dip, if there is going to be one. But nobody knows this. Nobody knows this. I don't think silver is going to go down to like 22 or below. I don't even know if it's going to test 26. And the way things are going with these coins, selling out the American Eagles and all that stuff, and the really good ones that people would more want, the more desirable ones. Not saying the private mints are okay too, but selling out the American Eagles so fast and everything like that, and the Canadian mint almost getting sold out and everything. I mean, that's telling you if it goes down to 22, maybe the physical coins ain't going to be around. Maybe that's going to be something you might want to do an electronic trade for. But I'm going to say this too. I said this a bunch of times, and I kind of put some videos out on there to get a little bit of attention. But the thing that's really going to save the middle class, the one commodity I think, is going to be hemp. Hemp. It's a commodity that grows in the ground. Anybody can mine it. I mean, you don't have to be the person that does it. You could be the one to support people. It could be an accounting person, a marketing person, somebody that fixes the machinery. But around that hemp industry, and this is like what Jimmy Rogers alludes to, agriculture, man, that could replace a whole pile of stuff. It's green earth. I'd like to present that question to a Rothschild. Hey, Rothschilds, you rolling news is, get rid of the coal and, sustainability and all this kind of stuff in green earth. How come you're not letting the human race grow hemp, you jackass? I wouldn't put it to them like that, but you know what I mean. I mean, that's really what's going to save the middle class, because that's like true wealth that could be produced. Silver and gold may be a store of wealth, and it could be a speculative bubble at some point in time. And if you unload it at the right time, the few are going to make money, the majority are going to get shafted. So, I mean, I don't know. So, it's kind of like, I'm in a finance and accounting background, right? But, I know there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of initials after their names, and they're idiots too sometimes. We used to call them big bucks bullshit. And actually, the entrepreneurs, a lot of times they don't have all these degrees. The ones that make all the money, they don't have the degrees. They got common sense, business sense, street smarts. They know how to hustle and always looking out for deals. And they're not afraid to act. They're not afraid to buy, and they're not afraid to sell. Those are the guys that actually make the money. Usually it's people with all the initials after their names are the ones that work for them. But people with the initials after their names, it can be big bucks bullshit too. And what I realize is the middle class is its own worst enemy. It's not really the elite. The middle class ain't using their head. And when they're searching for answers and they're hitting some of these alternative media people, they're getting in a bunch of snake oil again. So, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this, just to sum it up, don't be afraid to buy silver now even. I mean, if you don't have it. I mean, if you're like loaded down with all kinds of silver and shit, you got to like at least 25% precious metals. You don't need to be buying on all the dips. There's other things out there you should buy that are, if you find a better deal on or whatever. But if you don't have any, like which is most of the middle class, you should buy it. You should. It is cheap right now. So, and also for the end of the year, I heard a couple of different variance predictions about equities going down due to earnings being poor. And actually that really will affect the equities more than anything. Not just money printing. Poor earnings, not influenced by the Federal Reserve buying up stocks or whatever the hell they're doing, or plunge protection team, whatever other kind of shenanigans. Actually, if people look at the income statement and the earnings look bad, you know what happens? Stock value plummets. Excuse me. But what happens then? We could see a pullback in the S&P and stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean gold and silver is going to get hammered. Because precious metals go a lot by fear. And if there's fear in the currencies, there's fear in the bonds, there's fear everywhere. That's when people go into precious metals. So it could be that the markets, general markets pull back and the metals go up. The one curveball I always think about is, will there be a war in the Middle East? I don't know. You know what? That's an open-ended question. But that will that will greatly influence the price of gold, oil, and silver. Right now, it is actually cheap. This stuff is cheap. So, but, you don't need to go headlong into everything into one place. That's stupid. So, anybody tells you that the only way you're going to survive financially is if you have every single cent of your money into physical silver, physical gold, man, you better run from those people, man. I'm just telling you straight up, okay? I mean, I disagreed with a lot of people that were in the financial world about different things because I pretty much go by common sense and, street smarts, redneck smarts, and just getting down to basics, too. Because I don't trust a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't trust the annuities and all this, the bonds and all the financial instruments. I don't trust a lot of that shit, too, myself. But, it all ain't going to fall apart. I mean, stocks and companies that produce things that people need are not going to fall apart. Even though it's a piece of paper, it's a share in a company, right? It's a real asset. It's backed up by something real. But yeah, I do have a lot of mistrust of what's going on in the system, and I think physical metals are a smart play. But if it gets up there astronomically, and it does go that high, I got to tell you who's going to be the real suckers that are buying it. The middle class. And who's going to be leading them into it? People like Brotherjohnf and SgtBull and others like them. So, man, they sure as hell ain't out for you guys, man. No way. So, they're out for themselves. Now, I don't like doing these silver videos as much as doing health and car mechanic videos. I'm going to probably do some more. I am going to do some more of those. But I go on here with these silver videos because I do have a head for the financial world, and I've seen stuff, and I've seen so much bullshit, and it's like, man, I am smelling so much bullshit. It's making me want to puke with some of the shit these people are talking. I'm like, man, and I'm realizing that people are listening to it. They're looking for answers. They want to know what the hell's going on because they don't trust, CNN, and they don't trust Fox. They don't trust ABC, CBS, or even Russia Today. So you're looking for another answer. I'm going to tell you this. The guys who listen to really, they don't drop you down and they don't give you every single, do this exactly. But the guys who listen to in general pretty good are really Jim Rogers and Mark Faber. So, trust in them. There's others out there too. But, gold is going to actually, something I keep thinking about what Mark Faber said too. Gold, he's got it because it's an insurance policy, and he's afraid that there's going to be a major financial collapse. I don't think it'll happen right away, but that could be. That could be. China's looking to upset things too. I mean, the elite on the top of the world all work together until one of them figures, hey, I could be the top dog, so they stick it to the other one, right? Just like regular people, right? Same deal. So China could pull some kind of crap too. So, and all of a sudden you might have a mass devaluation of dollar, and if you're in gold and silver, you're fine. You're probably going to go up even more because people are going to panic into the metal. And but also you got to remember somebody like Rogers, who's into agriculture, he's got brains doing that. I mean, that's a commodity that's going to have to keep producing. People need it. And he points out, nobody wants to be a farmer today. Everybody wants to be a jet-set yuppie, executive in an office that doesn't want to get their hands dirty. So, the most of the farmers are like, way into their 50s and 60s. So what's the next generation going to do? There's going to be a shortage of farmers. So he's smart. I mean, he's not too savvy into gold and silver. And, one thing I also want to point out is Mark Faber said, I have a lot of respect for Jewish businessmen. They're smart, right? They just, some guys, I tell them to buy gold and silver, and look at me like, but most of them are smart. But Mark Faber said, I remember this like a year and a half ago, and I'm going to say it again here, because he said that, many of his Jewish businessmen that are, this is before Mark Faber got into over 25% gold physical. He says that a lot of them were way over 25% into the metals, either in the stock, some are over 50% into the metals or the mining industry and stuff. Hey, you know what's going to happen? It's going to play out. It's like the pendulum's going to swing. Right now the mining stocks look like crap, right? It's kind of scary to buy them. They're dropping like this. hey, maybe that's the thing to buy, right? So it's going to play out. But, you know, I'm going to tell you again, this is my point. Guys like Brotherjohnf and SgtBull, they're going to be ones like, you know, leading the parade all the way to the top. And the ones that are be buying heavy, hot and heavy at the high prices are going to be the middle class. They ain't out to save the middle class, man. They're out for number one, man, all the way. I don't know what the hell the deal is, but that's probably what it is, you know? So, beware. Don't be afraid to buy now, though. Don't be afraid to buy now. I mean, if you don't have it. But, you know, eventually, man, you should be selling. And it don't mean you're going to be keeping a toilet paper cash. It means you're going to buy some other hard asset. It might be property. You know, it could be, I don't know, it could be shares in agriculture or something. So maybe they'll make hemp legal, for crying out loud, you know. Actually, if hemp was legalized some years from now, it looks like there's a storm brewing of getting behind it. And, you know, some agricultural people got involved in it and knew what they're doing. That would be a smart company investment. You know, buy shares in that, because that probably would take off like crazy. Hey, it solves all the problems: clean air, green earth, renewable fuel, clean fuel, you know, clothing, you know, textiles, you know, paper products, you know, plastics, you name it. Replaces all that garbage that oil pollutes the world with, right? Actually, that's, like I said, that's the only product that's actually going to save the middle class. You know, silver, it's okay. I got a bunch of it. So anyway. Over and out. Just watch out for these scam artists, because I know these people. I know the middle class, man, are searching for answers. You know, what's going on? Gotta find the alternative media. But man, some of these alternative media, they're so full of it, man. You're gonna get screwed listening to them. So I'm gonna keep up with the silver videos, but I just play common sense. I believe that psychologically, I think people shouldn't get psyched out about it. And you know, if you sold physical now and you sold it at 31, and now it's like 28 something, you know, that isn't really a smart move either. You know, unless it drops down to like 26 or 25 or something. But it might not, right? It might not. I definitely wouldn't sell it now at 28. Shit, you know. So if you got the physical, you're in it for the insurance policy. That's why you don't dump all your money into one freaking place. So I don't know. I got too long-winded on this, but beware of the alternative media snake oil out there, okay? That's all I got to say.